Sam Kerr made the move that would help her become the best female player in world soccer. Sam Kerr made the move that would help her become the best female player in world soccer. Lonely, depressed and on the brink of turning away from an already celebrated career, Sam Kerr made the move that would help her become the best female player in world soccer. It was February last year and Kerr was drowning in pain from displaced metatarsal bones in her left foot. Her dreams of becoming an Olympian in Rio de Janeiro seemed shattered when the injury cost her a place in the Matildas team for the game's qualifiers in Japan. Treatment through the Wa Institute of Sport and Perth Glory facilitated the physical help she needed, but the mental scarring was deep. So, against the wishes of Matildas coach Alan Stojcic, Kerr made the snap decision to move to the US and reignited her soccer career. I had many conversations crying on the phone to Mum telling her I didn't want to do it anymore and I felt like I'd let everyone down, Kerr told the Weekend West from her New Jersey home. You just believe what your brain is telling you when you're in a dark place and I just couldn't do it mentally. I'm such a bubbly person. But for 3 or 4 months straight I was just down all the time. I was very lonely in Perth. Training by myself and everything was by myself. It's just not the same as being around a team 24/7. Luckily, I moved to be with an awesome and supportive bunch of girls over here and they kept me going. Sam Kerr relaxes on the boardwalk in Spring Lake, New Jersey. Picture, Stuart Ramson/the West Australian. Those caring new teammates at New Jersey-based Sky Blue and the mental release she craved ultimately reopened the door for her physical brilliance. Kerr, who will turn 24 next month, made her Australian debut against Italy at age 15. Last week, some of the game's most respected critics were hailing her as the world's best female soccer player after leading the Matildas to victory in the Tournament of Nations in the US and the team's first trophy for 7 years. Not only did the Matildas beat the US, the world's top-ranked team, for the first time, but they also avenged the heartbreaking Rio Olympics loss to Brazil with a 6-1 thrashing. Kerr also recently became the US National Women's Soccer League competition's all-time leading goal scorer. While she spoke openly of the Matildas' belief that they could soon become the world's best team, Kerr was uncomfortable around being touted the female game's best player. But there is no escaping her transition from being an AFL fan in the West Coast Eagles cheer squad screaming for her older brother Daniel, to an elite and exciting athlete. Sam Kerr with brother and former Eagle Daniel. Picture, Michael Wilson/the West Australian. I don't read too much into that stuff because it's just not in my nature to read up on myself and it doesn't sit very comfortably, Kerr said. Those things are massive honors, but I'm not getting too far ahead of myself. It's nice that people think that of me. With more than 26,400 followers on Instagram and almost 14,000 on Twitter, Kerr has become a social media staple for fans across the globe, with many of her selfie posts featuring a cheeky tongue-out pose. A product of WA football's prominent Kerr and Regan families. As feisty as they are famous, she has embraced the online world but despises its less truthful elements and is rankled by suggestions she has snubbed the new AFLW competition. Kerr, who played Aussie rules until she was 12, has consistently committed to the Matildas despite new suggestions she will be West Coast's No. 1 target if the club secures a spot in the 2019 AFLW. A 16-year-old Sam Kerr. Picture, the West Australian. I love AFL. It's what I grew up on and I wish them all the best. But I just wouldn't give up playing for my national team, she said. I am earning good money in America. I'm earning good money for the national team and I've just been to the Olympic Games with my sport. People write stuff that's fake or stupid stuff or sexist stuff and you just feel like telling them to shut up or go elsewhere. Sometimes it's a bit of a laugh reading stuff you don't know about yourself. Football is my life and my job and I feel like I owe the game. The backflip after the goal against Japan. Picture, Getty Images. More often than not, Kerr owns games as well, and her Kerr celebratory backflip after scoring against Japan in the Tournament of Nations has increased her fame even more through worldwide replays. It was an acrobatic act crafted in the playground of Sampson Primary School in Perth's southern suburbs. I actually taught myself in primary school, she recalled. I was just on the oval and thought it would be sick to be able to do a backflip. I reckon Mum would have killed me if she'd seen me. The first time I did it for the Matildas, I stacked it, but thought I had to try it again. I normally do it when something special happens and the coach is happy as long as I don't injure myself. Kerr is now living a real-life fantasy playing the sport she loves and living just an hour from New York near the beach made globally famous by the television series Jersey Shore. However, her sporting commitment has impacted on her family life. Daniel Kerr says his soccer star sister Sam has as much lip on her as him. She longs to spend more time with her Perth-based, non-Coral Kerr and is yet to meet brother Daniel's third daughter, Luca. The feelings are made more acute in moments like when she received a recent photograph of another niece, Lola, doing a school new presentation. Sam Kerr will play a key role in the Matildas' bid to win the Women's Asian Cup in Jordan next year and then the 2019 Women's World Cup in France. She will return to Australia with the team to play Brazil in 2 matches in NSW next month and is likely to rejoin for Perth Glory for the coming WA League season. Sam Kerr's Matildas hat-trick in Tournament of Nations she watched with envy this week as tens of thousands of people lined streets to welcome home the Netherlands women's team, which had just won the European Championship and dared to dream about similar passion playing out at home. Hopefully, Australia can get on board and start believing in the women's game, she said. Ray great, exciting and passionate. With that true Aussie fight and grit, everything Australians look for in a team. We're probably one of the best female national teams and the women's game is only getting bigger and better and stronger and faster. It's every girl's dream to play in front of a home crowd that's massive.